All right. Okay, guys. Sorry, but we had a last couple of fantastic days with the Backstreet Boys. This concert was an unexpected, absolute blowout. When I say unexpected, I didn't expect it to be that big as it got in terms of frenzy. I think there's still one big marker that we took out of this is that there's still value for what we do. Everyone only talks about the electronic music scene. I think there's still a lot of value in what the live music scene has to offer. Lollapalooza was something that we brought into the country, but it was a lot of hard work. I just want to say before we start on talking about Lolla itself, the one thing that we must always remember as an industry is that the reason that we can do something like Lolla, or that we can even dream about doing something of this scale, is because we have partners who silently work behind the scene. I'm talking about our tech partners, our guys who bring us the sound, the lights, the AV, the trussing. These guys like Manish and Warren, and Ulas and Jay and all these boys who actually invest their life or actually invest their time. They are the ones who take all the risks. Some of them even, mortgage their houses and bring in all this tech so that we can dream of staging things of this nature. So guys, as an industry, I think we need to insanely stop calling them vendors because they are our partners. In fact, most of the time, they are our leaders. So thank you. Big hand for them. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all your help and support here. Okay, so off to Lolla. I'm going to run a quick little AV that we put out on the social media a little while ago. I know a lot of you don't even look at social media. I rarely look at social media, but I'm going to just run it because it was more of a heartfelt, thank you film that we wanted to do. So can we just run that AV, please?
Mumbai was just an unbelievable opportunity as a place to bring Lollapalooza, and there were so many young people here. The music streaming business is so robust here. There's such music fans here of all kinds that it was just a perfect place for us to land. And we've been lucky to be able to be invited and to come and bring this.
Mumbai has never had a festival at scale, and we just felt that Lolla cuts across all genres, all kinds of music, all kinds of artists, appeals to all age groups. So we said, if we have to do something in Mumbai, let's try and make Lolla happen.
Thank you, Lollapalooza.
We wanted to do a festival that's specifically in the city for the city. We were looking for the heart of Mumbai, and this is the heart of Mumbai. Yeah. There is no spot like this in Mumbai as far as open ground is concerned, as far as being centrally located, as far as just having the sea nearby. It is a beautiful spot here.
Only because it is something that we all believe that the racecourse is part of the city, right? And it belongs to the city, it belongs to citizens, and I think it's only fair that people enjoy the space that we have. The committee must thank the trainers who have been most cooperative in every which way.
See, any festival around the world, the city officials, the government, without their support, it's not possible. Absolutely not possible. May it be the law and order, the traffic, the fire marshals, the guys who are actually marshalling on the roads.
Without their help, it's not possible because we are actually taking public space to enter into a space for our venue.
काम केलं काही लोकांनी ट्रॅफिक झालं नाही रस्त्यावरचे किंवा महालक्ष्मी स्टोअरचे सगळे वॉर्डर्स हे त्यांच्या मोबाईल फोनमध्ये बिझी होते कालचा प्रकार झाला आज तसा प्रकार होता कामा नये ठीक आहे
We also wanted to restrict a lot of people coming here by car because like it's a VIP movement and as well as C-Link. So it's a high chance of getting jammed the entire city. That's not at all good because we also want this to happen here in the heart of the city. So we are having take train to Lola campaign that we are doing. Come by train, free drink coupon. We are also tying up with agencies like City Flow, where we are actually getting around like 120 buses. We will pick you up from your white space, drop you at the nearest location, which is 300 meters away, getting back to them.
Kept meeting all the relevant departments and police and traffic police and the BMC departments. Everyone has been so helpful and cooperative, you know. It just goes to show that if you're doing something genuinely with a good heart and a clean spirit, people come together, you know, it gets done. And I've seen that firsthand on this project. It's been fantastic.
Look, any festival needs to belong to the city, right? It may be an international festival which goes all over the world. So when we started looking at what the festival should be all about, it started with music curation and it started with how much should it be a collab of East meets West. The folks that do the Ganpati Panda in the local area, they're going to help our customers and fans who are going to walk from Mahalakshmi railway station to the festival site, and they're going to assist people to walk safely in. We've got Vogo bikes for cast and crew, which is by the BST. We've got BST involved. We've got Wordley Dairy involved for parking. The railways have been so supportive. Law and order and police. I think this festival at some point of time needs to stop belonging to BookMyShow and should belong to the city.
It was not really trendy programming, it was programming done by music fans, and that's always something we wanted to do. We fortunately managed to do that in India. We're not one of those festivals that's booked based off statistics and vanity metrics. It's something we're pretty proud of. There's headliners here that are global headliners, but in India, they're still niche bands.
I just feel that music is something that crosses boundaries and it kind of brings people together, and I think it really helps getting the community involved. Today in India, we haven't really reached that level of charity consciousness, and I think that's our aim, to make people a little more charity conscious in whatever small way it is. So I think our presence has really achieved that at this festival. And this string art installation you see here is just one of the ways that we're giving back to society.
The main thing was getting the entire city together, right? That was the objective that we started with. Coming up with elements and design languages that actually talk the vibe of the city was our main focus. Bringing the city into the festival was the main objective of how we approach the design.
For the first time, Lollapalooza is coming to India, and we had done an entire research as to wherever it's been happening in all the other countries, right? Each country had its own specific elements. And that's what we thought. Obviously, we stick to that template, we stick to that format, create those set of elements that are true to India. But at the same time, it was challenging because having been in India and being a designer, you don't want to be using the most cliche, elements. And that's where the challenge was for us, to sort of maintain a balance and say, how can we still make the most cliche elements, such as an elephant, such as a tiger, or your obvious Indian things like an auto or a taxi or the best bus, to still make it look cool. So that was the idea, to sort of replicate, use the same line style work that the international teams had done, and that was the idea, to sort of make sure it continues from that same language, and we sort of just make sure it does not look like this is another festival altogether. The idea was to make sure Lollapalooza's true, the core identity remains, and that's what we did.
The thing is that Lollapalooza is probably one of the best brand names out there in terms of music festivals. When you talk about music festivals, this is one of the biggest brand names there is. Making it palatable for the Indian consumer, helping them understand what value it is to come to a Lollapalooza versus any other festival that exists. What is the differentiating factor between Lolla and any other festival that already is here is so important.
The city has its whole culinary history and culture. So how do you bring the people or the food which is around the local area, because we were going to impact businesses in the local area. So for example, Haji Ali Juice Center would have an issue with serving their food over 2 days. So we've given them business in the festival. Or even Gallops, which will get affected with serving their diners for that day. And so then we've given them at the back office in the Friends and Family Lounge. So we've tried to be inclusive with folks.
We brought in different concepts, different restaurants. We have 3 different lanes out here, starting with the Mumbai local lane, which is where we've brought in the Amchi Mumbai concept.
You know, we are about music and culture. And so every nation that we go to has got its own culture. And so it's as exciting as to us as it is to the patrons when we do Lollapaloozas.
I don't think this could have come together in any other city in India. Mumbai has just been fantastic with us here.
India.
That's it. That's my presentation. I'm going. Done. I think that the reason for this video was pretty self-explanatory. A lot of moving parts, a lot of heartache. But what we're not showing you here is the 2 years of work that went into it prior to this. Kunal Kambati was here earlier. He probably single-handedly worked on this project for 2 years before. Lolla even recognized us. He's the one who went around pursuing them, and when Kunal gets on your butt, he really gets on your butt. But he kind of persuaded them to say yes and come to India and even take a chance and take a shot at us. That's that 2 years' work. That venue that you see, the Mahalakshmi race course, right? So when we took it over, and Vincent hates us for that one, but when we took it over in November, the grass was taller than our head. There were snakes in there. It was a swamp. We literally cleared that place. There were 340 something odd trucks of dirt and debris that we took out of that place. We flattened that land. Our next step this year is that we're going to hopefully grow grass in that area, and then maybe we just have a brand new venue for all of us to use in Mumbai. So, baby steps towards, can we also improve the health of the industry as well? I suppose. So, a lot of hard work behind the scenes that went into it. We'll just do a quick run through of some figures. How do you work this? Okay, press it. Right. I'm pressing some. Okay. Yeah. So this was the slide that I was supposed to tell you about the fact that we cleared the venue. So we spoke about that already. This right in the middle of, again, many firsts that happen in this in this festival. The first time this venue was used as the internal ground. It was. I mean, I know we all use the venue a lot, but that center ground has never been used. In fact, the Polo guys told us that it was the first time they ever saw this venue clean. They ever saw this venue flattened, and it's been there forever. It's a treasure that we all have over there, and it comes with its own set of. I mean, it's not an easy venue to work with. There are the horses, and the horses are expensive animals and owned by very rich people and very powerful people. Some of those horses cost more than Lollapalooza itself. So and they get scared of banging noises and stuff. And we made a lot of noise. So there was them. There was a lot of, that is a VIP route. So anyone can lock you down. We actually took NSCI as a parking spot. I mean, talk about doing nonsense. And there is a lot of moving parts in that area. That entire area is dug up, and there's metros being built and stuff. So there was a lot of workarounds that we had. We were actually blessed that we had our partners, C3, the guys who run Lollapalooza all over the world. And the Goras came in and they helped us a lot. But of course, they don't know how we operate as well. They have a handbook for everything. We just have a hand. So we get stuff done in a different way. And sometimes to make them understand our way, I mean, we had quite a few wonderful conversations where they wanted to be part of the meeting with cops and stuff. And so once I took them as well to the Baikala police station. And, at that point, they were talking about that egress and entry and exit systems and how the cars and people should not mix in our entry and exit systems. So we took a drive to the Baikala police station, and on the way I told the Gora, he was sitting in my car, I said, look at all this, look at the traffic, look at the mess. But one thing you'll realize is no one banging into each other, there's no accident. We know. I mean, when the cars are coming, we move, yeah. I mean, that's the way we figure life out. But they really taught us a lot, They made us want to improve, and I said to them, even if I can come out of this experience with you guys even 10% better than what we are already, I think that is a huge job that we want to undertake. So in any case, he came for the cop meeting with me, and that cop, he was a big Texan dude, and he was talking in his American accent, and the cop couldn't understand what he was saying. But the cop was going, yes, correct, yes. So he said, "Chalo, they are, they get me. They're agreeing with whatever we're saying." So it worked out really well. And the reason I'm saying this is that we got so much of cooperation from them. And post this festival, I mean, we finished on the 27th, 28th, and on the 30th, the Mumbai police actually were in a presentation to the Interpol. And they used our project as a presentation of how crowds are managed and how traffic is managed. That was a huge thing for us as well. Yeah. Let's look at some. This is the bill, the artist bill. I know how many of you saw those memes of those fake artists, and that was a lot of fun. We got and then when we came out with, there were a lot of fake ones. And in India, I mean, we're all part of the inner circle, the inner industry. So we know that there's no real pleasing anyone in India. No matter what you do, if you bring Michael Jackson out of his grave again also, they'll say, should have brought his father also. So there's no pleasing anyone here. So no matter what you put on the table, you could have done better, and at a cheaper price also, But so we got a lot of flack. But in order to put in this stack of artists, just to get 40 artists on your bill, we spoke to over 250 different artists, agents. It's simple enough, not simple enough, but it's kind of simple to bring an artist on their date. To bring an artist on the date that you want is very tough. So a lot of moving part, a lot of negotiations, of course, price factors. And from the time we started negotiating, to the time we did Lolla, the dollar rate went up by 8 rupees. So, that was a pleasant surprise as well. We negotiated at about 79 and closed at 84, whatever, and still counting. So this was a massive task. Again, to actually balance out your 4 stages, to get the sounds or the specific energies of these stages right, to get your artist lineup right. You're always being compared to your international lineup. So there's a lot of work that goes into this. There's lawyers and negotiations and movement. You got a lot of the artists, we figured out ancillary shows in the Middle East so that we could get them at a better price. So that's a tremendous effort. And then finally, when they do say yes, you have to deal with the technical riders and their whims and fancies. And I know all of you know about this part, but it was very tiring. And next slide. Okay. So, 2 days, 4 stages, 40 acts. This was, I think, after a very long time, a festival or a concert of this nature that happened in the city of Mumbai. A lot of festivals happen outside the city. We are also involved, very heavily involved in the other big festival that happens in Goa called Sunburn. And it's not easy to pull these things off. And in Mumbai, when you're actually culturally shocking the system, when they don't understand what you're trying to put up, so they say, acha, tum log ko party karna hai, tum log ko daru peene ka hai, so and for 2 days you want to drink daru this time. Very good. So but the ancillary revenue that comes in with this, what we do for this city, we clocked in at about 25 million this year of revenue that we brought into the city. And this is not festival revenue. I'm talking about hotels, airlines, restaurants, bars. This is ancillary revenue that was created around the festival. This particularly I'm very proud of because, sponsors, partners are absolutely the spine of what we do. If ever we are to move into a profitable industry, a well-profitable industry, it'll be these guys who help us get there. Look at this line, and I know a lot of you already look at this saying, how the hell did you get 2 alcohol brands and 1 car brand in the same line? But it happened. And, couple of these brands that you see there, this is the maximum spend that they've ever done on a singular event. And there's a bit of a learning in that as well, and when I was talking to one of these brand guys, he put it very nicely. He said, there was a time in our lives in India, in Mumbai, where we had Ambassador and we had Fiat. And some of us got extra cool and we bought a flow shift Fiat and called it sports car. But that was available, It was not that we didn't have the money to buy better, but that was just what was available. Now, when the Mercedes came in, we bought the Mercedes, and we all, so it's not that it's not available. The cue point was that, and guys, this is, I'm putting it out there for all of you as well. Let's present more premium products to them, and they will buy it. Be it to your consumer, be it to your partners, be it to your sponsors, create more premium, and they will buy it. We sold our premium tickets at 62,000 rupees. For 1 ticket, and that's not a cheap ticket. I wouldn't pay it, but I would say it's not a cheap ticket. That's what people are willing to pay. Just put out premium stuff, make it look premium, work on it. Do not feel shy of pitching expensive things because that's what people want. You look at restaurants, you look at nightclubs today, and people will drop 1 lakh rupees just on a night out. That's the power you have in your hands. I think we as an event industry feel a little shy to charge. Let's go out there and charge. People will pay for it here. In terms of amplification, this is another thing that we all get hit with, that ROI and, stuff like that they talk about. Only 1,000 people will come. But, this is the kind of numbers that we drove with ROI. On your social media. I think the COVID, even though it messed all of us up, and we all have our own personal tragedy stories about the COVID scene, but social media picked up so much in that time. The resonance of our industry is there for us all to see. These are the kind of social numbers, these kind of media numbers. I think we now are at a position where we are holding the power. There was a point in time there where we could not operate without a Times of India support. We could not operate without big media house support. Today, we can. I think we can drive those numbers. This is a pitch that I frequently do with most of my sponsors, where I tell them that, and let's be real, all of us in this room, when we're watching TV and the ads come on, that's when we change the channel, or that's when we go and get our drink. I mean, that's the state of advertising today, where I am willing to pay you to not show me your ad. I mean, that's what YouTube is. That's what, YouTube Prime is. Take my money, but don't show me an ad. That's the kind of industry. And yet, all of you gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen sitting in this room, consumers pay you to come and hang with you. They pay you large amounts of money to come and spend hours with you. That is the power you're holding today. And if you can just get that conversation between a brand and that consumer going at your event, you are the new advertising platform. And recognize that as your power. That is where you're sitting right now. Yeah, and we made a few people happy as well, even though we did get a lot of land blast on the internet. Yes, one thing that you need to also keep in mind, I also run a small restaurant, and we often notice that when on social media, you very rarely get praised. Social media is there for a bit of a bitch session, isn't it? Because when you do something wrong, when one person is upset, he will come onto social media. When 100 people are happy, they're not coming onto social media to say happy stuff. So don't get disheartened by the stuff you read on social media. Just keep with your dream, keep with your heart, just keep plying. And somewhere down the line, it'll turn. And that's exactly what we saw when we first came out with our lineup. We got a lot of brickbats on the social media channels. Of course, we were expected to drop the biggest K-pop acts and the biggest everything. They do cost money, so we could not land the biggest acts. But the kind of love that we finally got was really interesting. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to quickly run this. We've all seen this. This was, I'm going to wrap up quickly because we're out of time, but it was a massive effort. It was a team effort. And like I said right at the top, we couldn't have possibly even dreamt of doing something like this without our tech boys and our tech support guys. Each and every one came in and pulled their weight, and how impressed the global community, impressed every artist, and set us up as an industry, as a country, where people are looking at us as we have finally arrived. And I can certainly say that about Mumbai city. We have definitely arrived on the international scene. Thank you all. Thank you all so much. Thank you.